Thank you for joining us. It's always great to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, Samuel is from Park Lane Christie's. They recently rebranded to affiliate with Christie's.
Yes.
And he's both an associate and a senior advisor, very experienced in the Mauritian property market. We're really grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
And let's get straight into it. Maybe tell us a bit, how did you end up in the Mauritius and the property market? Sort of where you're from. Give us a bit of a taste of that background.
A bit of background. So look, to start, I would say that I do have everybody asks me where do I get my accent from. So most ask me, am I South African? So my quick answer to that is I've spent 10 years in Zimbabwe. Okay, so that's definitely influenced a little bit my background growing up. It was my schooling years from 8 to 18, and I would say it was a great childhood, which I really enjoyed and has impacted my life through and through. But I'm Mauritian, so 100% Mauritian. My claim to fame is that I was born in Saudi Arabia, but my parents were just working there, and then they left when I was 2, came back to Mauritius, was young, don't remember much about Saudi, and then family troubles, got me adopted and taken care by a foster family in Zimbabwe. Awesome. Which was, as I said, a positive experience, I think, and when I look back now and what it's given me. And then I moved to Mauritius when I was 18, finished schooling. Zimbabwe was unfortunately already on a bit of a downward spiral, and saw great opportunity in Mauritius.
Yeah.
Okay. From there, I did first actual job was as a teacher in a private school, teaching IT lessons and also doing monitoring in a class. And very quickly I realized that working with little kids was not my forte and not my calling. So it was a quick decision to decide that I was wanting to steer elsewhere with my life. So I finished my year, was helping at on a work site for my church for a couple months when I got approached by Philip and Frederic, who are the founders of Park Lane Christie's today. And that was back in 2009. So I've been with the company now for over 17 years. And and the rest, as we say, is history. But that's a bit of a quiche line. So we'll just say that it's been a good and long road together, which has brought us to grow and mature and really to be able to bring all that experience to our clients today.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. That's quite a cool story. Maybe just coming back to the island. I mean, you must have seen incredible changes, like obviously as a youngster, then leaving, coming back at 18. It must have been a big jump, and then sort of that period from 18 till now, which I'm sure is not a long time.
Of course not.
Just sort of the changes you've seen in that time. Maybe just walk us through what Mauritius was and has become in your eyes, in your perspective.
Look, so in my early years, Mauritius, I remember the biggest, most amazing thing was the Phoenix Mall. At the time it was called Continent. Okay, so that was the first big mall in Mauritius. And all that to say that, yes, we were very much a small island vibe, touristic, but that was it.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much going on when I was, before I left for Zimbabwe. Coming back now, 10 years later, definitely seeing that Mauritius had changed gears completely, was developing nicely, had many opportunities for different sectors. The variety, I think, is what really makes Mauritius special. It's not just now just a tourist destination. It really is offering a good variety of services and attractions. So when I first got into real estate, I started and did some training. It was in our central office. So Park Lane Christie's covers the whole island and services the island from 3 offices strategically located.
So it's the northwest and...
Exactly. So it first started in the west. Then the north office opened quite quickly afterwards. A couple years later, in 2009, is when we opened the central office. Okay. So I joined a new office, new team. Brian Blatch, another major shareholder and director of Park Lane, had just joined the team as well. So it was very dynamic. It was very much back then, I would say, centered on a local market, the central office at least. Okay, but it was great experience to get into the real estate game. But definitely very quickly saw Mauritius changing gear in general. So I give kudos to Mauritius where kudos is due. They've done well to reinvent themselves. They are forward thinking. Nowhere is perfect, fair enough, but there we go. They've done well. 100%.
But no, agreed. It's been a good 10 years.
And then now coming back specific to property, definitely have seen development at a very rapid rate for bringing it back to the Mauritian context, being a small island, a dot in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa. So I definitely see how that has evolved, and offerings to foreigners also. That was more or less in the same period where Mauritius opened up its property market to foreigners, and so that has drastically changed the landscape. Okay, I would say definitely positively. I always tell clients that I'm very proud of the way that Mauritius has managed to secure its local market and at the same time create a market for foreigners, and that it's done well. Time and again, I meet clients who tell me, look, Mauritius is a great place, you guys must not overdevelop it, and they're so scared of it following trends of other places where it has really just blown the market and the locals out of the market and things like that. So again, it's not perfect, but I see that there has been some balance and it's worked now.
Agreed. So, just like some of the smart city and those other incentives have worked well for keeping it integrated.
Now, smart cities definitely is the latest of their schemes. We will see how well it is integrated, but for the main ones, for sure, we can see that there's a great evolution of the property market in Mauritius.
Awesome. And how's living here? Obviously, you've got like sort of a dual perspective, both a Mauritian and an outside perspective on things. How has that impacted the advice or the way you build the relationships with your clients, especially guys coming in to the island?
Look, so again, I've been blessed to have lived abroad. A lot of our property market is held by, say, South Africans. Okay, we know the main buyers into Mauritius today are French, but closely followed by South Africans and the rest of Europe. Okay, so for the South African market, definitely I can relate a lot with the buyers when they come, what they're expecting, what they've grown used to, where they're coming from, and to get them to see the value of Mauritius as a value proposition and why it's different to what they would normally compare to back home. We'll give it 1 second. I was going to say something, but I changed my train of thought.
Maybe just on how the advice impacts or how you approach relationship building.
Yes, okay. So
just give it a moment.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. So definitely, relating to South Africans. I think what's also helped me a lot as well is the fact of living here. During my career, I got married, have children, and today I'm the proud father of 2 young boys who are now nearing adolescence. So definitely all of that, and accompanying families often. Expatriates generally come as families or as couples starting out. So
and you can advise on schooling,
advising,
life,
and
real life,
have lived through that to be able to at least bring them some knowledge from that local living experience. For sure.
Awesome. So thanks for sharing that, Sam. So if we could just get back to sort of would you say is Parkland Christie's core specialization, and specifically you? I mean, what are you looking at the moment? What areas, what type of developments are you focused on?
So as you will know, Michael, I'm based in our West office. So definitely I will have a a greater understanding of the direct local market of the West. Having said that, I accompany my clients everywhere, sold in the north, sold in the south, and I've worked at our central office for almost 3 years, so definitely have discovered a lot of the island through this job, which is one of the great takeaways from the job. The two being, let's say, relationships. So definitely pride myself in relationships, getting to know new people, meeting some really interesting people. The dynamic part of it being foreigner and local. We do obviously do rentals and sales. I do tend to concentrate a little bit more on sales. I would say that I do concentrate a little bit more of the area of the West, naturally. And yes, we'll also focus on assisting as much the expatriate market, but at the same time I have grown in our local market clientele and have serviced them from the very beginning, and will always have a soft spot to take care of the local market as well. Because I think inevitably it's woven in the same fabric, because even for the rental market, many expats maybe might start out renting for a period, so it's always going to bounce off one or the other. But there we go. As Park Lane Christie's, I think we really concentrate and focus on integrity, first of all. In this market, in this day and age, there's a lot going on. So we are there for consistency. I think that definitely a pillar in the fact that we've been a very, I would say, a small team. We're a family boutique-owned real estate agency with a team which has grown together through the years. So as I said, even myself being there 17 years, I have colleagues who have been there for even longer than myself, and a lot have been there for a number of years. So a solid team which works well together, collaboration well, have trust. I think that definitely is one of our strong points.
You guys enjoy a good reputation on the island.
So we've created a great brand. Our recent affiliation with Christie's is always just to get better recognition at an international level. We pride ourselves as being the #1 local owned and created agency. Okay, but to compete with other franchises, for sure, we have to have some sort of affiliation.
It's a global industry.
Correct. Yeah.
And so I think that's great. Maybe just sort of what is your unique take, or how when approaching a client or when dealing with an individual deal, what is your without giving away trade secrets?
No, of course, can't do that, eh? But definitely, I would say that I help clients buy so much time, a lot of the time, okay? The Mauritian market does have quite a number of different schemes. We're a small island, so laws do or can change quite quickly. We are in it every day. Many clients come, let's say, for a common misconception, for instance, the ground plus 2 scheme. They'll say, but I can't buy on the ground floor. So I'm like, no, you can buy on the ground floor. It's just that it's got to be a building of ground plus 2.
Yeah.
But there are other intricacies, like you cannot have a private use garden within the title deed of that property on the ground floor, because then you can't buy it. So you see, all of that will help clients doing a lot of visits which are finally useless in terms of what they're looking for. So taking time to listen to the client, understanding their needs, and then advising them according to what the market here offers, and to help them understand the market, what's happened. So we obviously have statistics and are able to show them the progression of the market and reassure them. So at the end of the day, being in the game for so long and daily gives us great confidence in being able to advise our clients, for sure.
And then there's something I wanted to ask you as well. A trend that we see a lot on the international side of what we keep ourselves busy with is sort of smart homes, AI integration, and then also there's a lot of talk around ESG and sustainability. Is those trends prevalent in the Mauritian market? Is it something you see penetrating into here? Or?
So definitely I would say that it is a trend which has penetrated the Mauritian market, okay, but at different levels. So yes, property is part of it, but it would have started maybe in agriculture or tourism and things like that. It's definitely the whole ESG side and sustainability part of it is already well implanted in Mauritius. On the property side, I would say that it definitely is in the minds of a growing number of promoters. It would be a good thing if, yes, it might be a little bit further implicated, okay, but we're getting there, and it takes time to apply all of these new techniques, which can often be costly if they haven't had time to really implant themselves in the Mauritian market. So that's on the sustainability side. On the smart home side, for sure, we are still, I would say, behind other markets when I'm speaking especially to our European clients. But I see that the quality that what we are offering is still very much, they're very happy with what is on offer. So yes, there are the smart homes options. Yes, there are the AI integration in terms of the lighting, the everything for the comfort and running of the home. Okay, it is an added cost, fair enough, but for the client who wants it, he can get it. So yes,
it is available.
It is available, yeah. And then at the end of the day, whether it is for real estate or property market, AI is definitely getting its tentacles
touching
out everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
But for sure, the game of real estate, I think somehow being on the ground, being present, having the local knowledge and the empathy side of it, which AI unfortunately won't ever or may not for a long time reach, I think that is also something which client appreciates still.
Of course,
yeah.
The human touch.
Exactly.
It is an emotional decision moving to a new country. Yeah.
It is, and you see it all the time. So especially the residential side, we obviously do commercial as well, so that it gets more down to figures, facts, and less emotional. But I would say the majority of our buyers still do it for a lifestyle perspective, an emotional perspective, and all of that is still very important, yes.
So maybe share with us sort of your take. What's the hot?
Look, soon I'm going to be able to ask you a couple questions as well, I hope, eh?
For sure. give me a minute. I got 3 more left for you.
No problem.
So your hot take, based area in Mauritius, or now up and coming, what is where's sexy to be right now?
Look, I think it depends. Again, I service a wide variety of clients. So depending on what level of life you're in, what space you're playing in, it will be dependent on that. Okay. Definitely, we know the 2 hotspots of Mauritius are the north and the west, southwest coast. Okay. There is development in the road network right now in the west. So I think that will open a very interesting market with what's happening in Cascavel and things like that, as well as going further down towards Le Mans and the new big golf estates that are being established there, which definitely attract high net worth clients.
Yeah, that's a premium product.
It's a premium product for sure, and it's an up-to-date golf estate, so with a lot, maybe more the sustainability, more the smart homes offerings, and much better adapted to a lock-up and go type of property, and all at the same time having the space and the luxury of being on a golf estate. So that definitely is a hot space. The West, I think, is always dear to my heart because of the scenery, the mountains, the nature, and just that it remains still a bit of a village. Okay. The North is hot for young guys and guys wanting to develop their career. There's a lot of people in the North. A
lot of business gets done here.
Lots of business gets done here, and there's a lot of tourism as well, which again can be interwoven into meeting. And so often I've seen in the past couple of years how guys just come here on tourism and finally end up investing in a business activity or property and just enjoy, because Mauritius's biggest advantage is its people, the friendliness, the openness, the fact that they are island and laid back, but at the same time still getting things done. So,
Absolutely,
that's good, yeah. And then we come to the center of the island where there's a bustling smart city with all that is being done in the area of Mocha right now.
Crazy amount of shopping centers, everything.
New developments, so a lot to happen. I personally own property which is getting a great return on investment in the center and even beating some of the other properties in the other areas, just because it's a concentration of careers, businesses, offices. And so there's great demand there. So
interesting to look at. Yeah.
If it's for investment and purely return on investment, any of those three, you just got to find the right property. And to find the right property, you got to get the right agent. So there we go.
That's why you're here.
And
maybe on that topic of the right agent, you can share with us a success story or something, a positive takeaway from a deal recently.
Look, I was just reminded with somebody now who I've done a deal with 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, we redoing deals. So definitely one take is guys who repeat their business. I think that's a good impression on and a healthy sign, exactly. But he was just reminding me how when he first came here, he was moving his family from the UK to Mauritius, needed a cushy landing. We ended up renting the best house he's lived in. He said he might have overspent at the start, fair enough, but he wanted that and to make sure his family's comfortable when he lands here. And all of it was done through video call and all of that. And we've kept the relationship. Today he's bought property, which I'm now helping him to resell. So he's moving on to the next chapter of life. His kids are going into higher education, and so he wants them to school them where he's grown up and been in the UK. So there we go. And we've been able to assist him not only here, but even in the UK. So with our affiliation, with our relationships, it's just so lovely to be able to accompany a family through even almost, and I hope one day intergenerational, we'll see, hint hint for my boys, but there we go. It's really be able to accompany clients through their journey, which we know impacts their life, and I think that's one part of the success of the story.
Sam, it's always great to see you, and thank you so much for making time and joining us today. For those of you that want to reach out to Sam, his contact details will be in the link in the description below. Please feel free to reach out with any questions.
Michael, thank you so much. That was fantastic, and thank you again for your insight, and we see you again.
Absolutely.
soon.